Like, oh, I was a disciple of the great brother Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. And this is my hand-selected apprentice who understands the will of the Black Baptist way and all that.
If you give birth in America, that kid automatically becomes citizen in the United States. Does anybody see the problem with that? Anybody at all?
Suicidal, nihilistic, white, liberal progressives who are mutilating their genitals in their fucking 50s, these hippie descendant adjacent types, and all of these fucking third worlders that they just let into their house. Amy Coney Barrett may have screwed us over with this one specific thing here, but it's not nearly as big of an issue as people are making it out to be. You know why? Because the precedent is allowed to stand simply because federal law on mail-in ballots and counting after Election Day is simply just unexplored as of now. If the Trump administration were to make federal legislation and rules and laws saying, hey, you can't count votes past Election Day, and hey, you can't cast mail-in ballots past a certain point, then that Missouri law would be overturned. That is not this, oh, we're going to be allowed. Yeah, no, sure, states like California are going to be allowed to continue what they've been doing for a while, but that is all the more pressing fucking precedent to get the Save America Act passed, and for Trump to go in and to define actual law involving mail-in ballots, counting past Election Day. He could define all of this, and this entire Supreme Court case just becomes effectively void overnight, simply because it's just the stopgap until they go in and do it.
Yeah, so that is the one upside with this. It's not like they're saying like, oh, there is no pathway. They just say right now in a dumb decision that, oh yeah, mail-in voting, it's not the day of the election that's the actual day of voting. It's the when it returns, which is just insane. But
it sucks, but it's not this. It's not this overwhelming defeat.
When it comes to election laws, there is always going to be that one exception in Alaska. But I think at the same time, they are abusing the shit out of it. This is ridiculous. You gotta wait, like, how many weeks is it in Alaska?
Yeah, because Alaska does this stupid thing where they have to have all their ballots sent to one room. Like, why do we need to do that? Like, that doesn't need to happen anymore. You don't need all the ballots in the state to just be counted in one room.
Like,
and that ultimately becomes a matter of a 10th Amendment issue where the state of Alaska can handle it how it wants to, but the United States federal government could theoretically put their foot down and say, hey, we're not doing this now.
Yeah, because
especially when it comes to federal elections, because for state elections you can say whatever, you know, you want to elect your governor that way, whatever the fuck. But if we're talking federal elections that impact Congress, impact shit like that, the federal government can come in and say, hey, yeah, you gotta fix this, big guy. You gotta fix it.
Yeah, and that's the issue here. And Alaska, again, they have the excuse that there's so many people that are in the God knows where. They're in the northern part of the state that nobody lives in. It takes literal hours to reach them. That's one thing. So it's like, okay, a couple days later, fine. It's like weeks after Election Day. Why can't they just vote like a week before Election Day? Why?
Because they're lazy and
these
they don't
isolated
want to
communities,
do things.
They should do it a couple days before Election Day. There, I said it. That's how you solve this problem. Alaska is always going to be the exception to the rule. I get that. But they are abusing it. They are abusing this garbage where, oh yeah, it takes literal weeks to count all the votes. So, but at least they have the excuse. What excuse does California have? Or like...
Real Texan!
Oh, Real Texas here, hello.
Hey, what's up, Real Texan? There is no excuse. I mean, it's just an inexcusable thing. The state of Alaska is serious, especially with this other bullshit going on with Dan Sullivan and ranked choice voting. We need to figure out what the hell is going on in Alaska, dude.
Yeah, that is just... I think there's a lot of fraud going on there.
Colorado Supreme Court rules redistricting for 2028 cannot proceed under state constitution.
Wait, what? Hold up. Hold up. What?
Oh, wait, Colorado?
Colorado cannot redraw their maps for 28.
Let's go! Let's go!
That is a huge win. Like I said before.
That was one of the states I thought was like guaranteed to redraw for 2028.
People need to understand about some of these Democrat states. It doesn't matter what they say. They literally have it in the law. They cannot redraw these maps in like Colorado or New Mexico or where. Well,
you know why? Because they wanted to take a stand on the independent redistricting thing.
Yeah.
2 years. They're like, take that, Republicans. We're passing these.
So that's how many seats is that? Like 2 or 3 for the GOP?
Yeah.
Possibly 4. So that's a big deal. So the Colorado's off the table. California, they really can't. Virginia, they're fucked. They can't do anything. What do they got? Maryland? And like,
they have like Maryland's, and
they always get their ass kicked in New York. Every time they go to the courts there, they get their ass kicked.
By the way,
Illinois? And this is a big deal. So, for those that don't know, Trump was having this fight with these FTC commissioners because they were claiming, no, the president cannot fire anybody from any agency.
No.
So here's the issue. This is the issue of what they were saying. They were basically saying that the president of the United States has no power over the executive branch or any agency. So Tyrone, if you became president by some miracle, you cannot fire anybody in the FTC or what's another big one?
The terms are acceptable.
Yeah. But like, what are these other independent agencies? Oh my gosh. FTC's one. Is it? Oh gosh. I had a brain fart here. Good lord. Chat, name some. Because I'm having a brain fart. It's not. Oh my god. FEC, I guess.
I mean, we got the FTC. We have. I mean, you have Fannie Mae. You have Freddie Mac.
Yeah, stuff like that.
You have. Okay, here. I pulled up a list.
I got it right here.
I got it all right here. CIA, CFTC, the CFPB, Consumer Product Safety. All right, I'm just gonna go over the ones that actually matter. EPA, FCC, FEC, the Federal Elections Commission. Trump can now fire people in there. Federal Maritime Commission, the Federal Energy Commission, the House Financing Agency, the Federal Reserve, though that was just ruled, oh, it's actually kind of independent, sort of. You have the FTC, you have the General Services
FCC's
Administration, you have the International Trade, you have NASA, you have NARA, you have the National Labor Relations Board, you have the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, you have the Office of the Special Counsel, which is actually kind of big. You have the Peace Corps. Interesting.
That's a part of that,
what else?
really?
Yeah, the Social Security Administration and Small Business Administration are also under that.
Yeah, and
Tennessee Valley Authority, USAID, that's another one. Trump now has the constitutional authority to fire whoever is left in USAID. There's the USPS, and then there's also the Office of Personnel Management.
Yeah, so this is like all the big stuff. Like everybody knows about the DHS and the CIA, well, not CIA, but like DHS. Everybody knows about the Energy Department. Those are the big ones. But these are very powerful like committees and stuff and commissions. They do a lot of shit. And what's happening is Trump was trying to fire these assholes at the FTC because they suck. And they said, no, the president cannot fire anybody because we're an independent agency. And the Supreme Court rightfully said, and this was a Roberts decision, that no, the president has the full authority to fire you. This is you are part of the executive branch. You're not in this fourth branch of the government that you're independent from everybody. No, you are under control by the president. Trump can fire all these people at the FTC, the FEC, the SEC, the USPS.
He can hire a lot of people that have been intentionally trying to block him on from the internal side of these agencies. That's big. I can't. It is a big thing that Trump is able to do this now. Yeah, and people gotta understand, this is a lot of the issues with the government. All these people are unelected bureaucrats that you cannot get rid of. That's the SWAT. You can never fire these people. They're there forever, and nobody can do anything about them. You want to know? You want to know what happened to a country that had this massive over bureaucratization and is now incapable of controlling it? The United Kingdom. Tony Blair did a lot of this with the government back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now Britain is literally unable to do anything. Andy Burnham is going to be incapable of doing anything as prime minister. Trump going in and asserting that he has the power to do these things is an objectively good thing, because it means we're going to be able to just completely ignore what had happened to Britain, what's happening with France, when all of these executive heads effectively lose their ability to actually govern the country. Yeah. This is a big deal, though. The more you think about it, it's just that you notice all the issues with the administration. It seems like they always stem from the FTC, the SEC. They're always playing games because you cannot fire these people, and now Trump can. And now Trump can hold these people accountable, get them the hell out of here, and you know what's going to happen? Replace them with people with half a brain. So yeah, right here. I just hit 250 points in zones. A little while ago, we have an update from 5-Star, which, by the way, I recommend people go follow 5-Star, great account. They've released the weekly numbers, and Republicans gained 69, nice, 100. Nice. Yeah, they gained, and they had a net gain of 6,900 in the last week. Now, part of this was because a lot of it was maintenance in deep blue areas, but apparently a lot of it also came from a lot of it came from deceased / relocated / inactive voters being moved off of the active voter rolls. Oh, so conveniently, when they need it in a primary, these people magically activate, but then after the primary, they disappear. Of course. What do you think? What do you think's going on there? Jeez. It's unbelievable. It's as if the Philly machine does this shit every year in primaries. They activate these people that are allegedly alive, and they're just inactive, and they magically vote only in primaries in Philly. But part of this was also because in Pennsylvania, like in Philly, and even parts of Pittsburgh, realistically, the only way you're going to be able to pick your candidate is if you vote with the Democrat primary. That's the reality of it. If you don't vote in the Democrat primary, you know what happens? You're not going to win. You're just done. You're not going to have any chance. So,
it do be like that, Mr. Stancil.
Oh, gosh.
It do be like that, Mr.
But it's like, the Democrat primary in Philly is essentially the general. So you want to pick the more moderate person in the primary. That's what happens in Philly.
Tuesday was an embarrassing fucking night for the mainline Democrats.
Yeah, the mainline Democrats are dead. They're dead.
The message is clear. The Democratic Socialists of America are going to take over the Democrat Party.
I don't think
we also need to talk about this. Harris and Newsom are now actively talking to Mom Donnie about 28.
Yeah, I made a video on that, by the way, yesterday. It's like
Zoran Mamdani is the new kingmaker in the Democratic Party.
He wasn't
an illegal Indian Rwandan immigrant who won because Biden imported God knows how many people into the country, is the new kingmaker for the Democrat Party.
Yeah. It just, think about that. Not even 16 months ago, he was not seen as a serious candidate. Just think about that for a millisecond. This guy is the kingmaker of the Democrat Party.
This guy's on a faster ascension to power than Obama.
Faster than Trump, for crying out loud.
Clinton.
Yeah, faster than Clinton, faster than Obama, faster than Trump. Because people forget, Obama at the start was not the front runner. That was Clinton. And then we'll know what happened. He won the primary. But it's like, you're telling me this guy who became mayor like 5 seconds ago could theoretically dictate who the presidential nominee is in 28, because he can't run for president, obviously, but seriously? You just can't make this up.
Progressive getting fucking primaried from the left.
Yeah.
By an immigrant who has been here for less than 10 years and is talking about naturalizing every single fucking immigrant in the country and arresting and executing ICE agents.
Yeah. And she won by 14 points, by the way. Jesus. Yeah, so this nutcase won by over 14 points.
And this is Colorado, where outside Denver, the Democrats are actually still kind of fucking right compared to the rest of the national fucking party.
Yeah, well, this district wasn't Denver, but yeah.
Oh, say again?
The district was in Denver, but yeah.
That's why I said outside of Denver. Like, this is like outside Denver. We're talking about Colorado, where the Democrats still have a bit of a libertarian streak when it comes to fucking guns.
Yeah, and some tax issues.
Yeah, and taxes, like low taxes, guns, like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, it just, like 10 years ago, hell, a year ago, I would have said there's no fucking way. Why would you primary out, I think it's DeJet, that's how you say her name, DeGette? Again, I don't even know her. She's just a backbench progressive. She's a progressive on every issue, except take a guess what issue she's kind of not a progressive on.
Immigration?
No.
What?
Israel. She's slightly pro-Israel. That's not enough, I guess. She is 95% a progressive. But that 5%, oh, that is not enough. You have to be 100% with these people, or you're nothing.
We are so incredibly lucky that our enemies have no fucking theater of mind and continue to just shift to the left no matter what, because they have allowed the third world to dictate their... I mean, they imported the third world, and now the third worlders, with all their stupid fucking pet issues and ability to just completely self-sabotage the competency crisis, if you will.
Yeah.
Now they are putting up their own people to run for office. Now their own networks are starting to break free from the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they fucked themselves over. And this is a monster they created. They can't put it away.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
They had their chance years ago to put this down. Their last chance was in 2025. To put their foot down and say, no, we gotta moderate. Remember, right after the 24 election, I remember this well, Seth Moulton and I think it was Tom Suozzi, these are two Democrats in the House. Suozzi's obviously the most conservative one, but even Seth Moulton in Massachusetts, he said, hey, maybe we should moderate on the trans issue and the immigration issue. Do you remember what happened with Seth Moulton?
They got told to get fuck up.
They said that you will not be part of the Democrat Party if you even suggest that, and they threatened them both for just merely saying maybe we should moderate on not every issue, just one or two issues that make us look so crazy that even some Democrats are saying, oh, I think Colorado, you're gonna be ran by dumbasses, by nutcases. Again, Hollis is a moderate governor, especially for Democrat standards. He's gone.
He's probably the most moderate Democrat governor in the country.
He is. Who's more moderate? You had Bill Edwards, and that was 3 years ago. That's it. It's Hollis. He is the most moderate Democrat because he's not crazy on the tax issue. And even just basic stuff like that. He realizes, okay,
and he's literally Jewish and gay.
Yeah.
Two of the most fucking sacred cow fucking things you could be identity-wise in their Democrat Party.
He may get kicked out of the party now because he freed Tina Peters. It never ends with these people. It's like this isn't exactly what Democrats want. There are millions and millions of young Democrats, gun socialists, millennials, and Gen Z. Here's the thing. The Democrat leadership, they know this is bad. They know this is like DEFCON 1.
Democrat leadership aren't a bunch of fucking 29-year-old girl bosses fucking acting like social media influencers. You want to know why the Democrat Party doesn't want this? Because the Democrat Party is still overwhelmingly. I've been talking about this. When the VRA got overturned, I mentioned this. These black and Hispanic and like these ethno-identitarian Dems who are basically just social. They're not social progressives. They're social liberals, but they vote on leftist policies anyway because it continues to entrench them and their ethnic comrades in these districts.
Yeah.
The VRA ensured that the Democrat coalition built on appeasing to all these minority factions, especially under the Obama era, could maintain control of the party because they understood if the progressives were to take power, that's a bad thing. The VRA is not just bad for the Dems in the sense that it removes their power. The VRA is going to make it impossible to actually have black majority districts.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have, well, I mean, for those who are like unaware, like these black guys, these elderly black guys who are in Congress who are like, oh, I was a disciple of the great brother Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and this is my hand-selected apprentice who understands the will of the Black Baptist way and all that fucking
That's
shit.
how it works, by the way. That's how it works in these areas. Some dude's been there since the 60s. He retires. He has a hand-picked successor, but that's how it worked for years. And again,
and his successor stays in Congress for 40 years until he gets too old or whatever. Or
and
he
it's the
gets
same
fucking fed up
thing.
with it. It's the same fucking thing. These have, especially the black machine, these are how these ethnic identity machines in these blue seats have worked. And they were able to function as such because Congress was fundamentally structured with the Voting Rights Act around maintaining these minority interests in the House, in the Senate, at the state level. And now that the Voting Rights Act is gone, and racial and not even the Voting Rights Act, it's better. Like we said, it's actually better. Thank you, Justice Alito, for what you did. God bless you, sir.
Because now
racial gerrymandering is unconstitutional.
And now in some of these states, some of these dumbass Democrats, and there's a reason why a bunch of like black Democrats are pushing back against this, like Illinois and New Jersey. They realize what's going to happen. Their machine only works in these racially gerrymandered seats.
Their machine only works when you have a black person in there telling the black people and the stupid white fucking liberals to go vote for them. Because the moment you remove the ability to do minority majority districts in the fucking state legislatures as they get more Republican, literally just draw it along party lines, I'm sorry to tell you, but overnight, more than half of these seats are going to become basically suburban white liberal seats, and these suburban white liberals are going to elect the most insane fucking people imaginable, and it's only going to happen further from there. Yeah, this is the future of the Democrat Party. What has happened with New York, what has happened with Maine, what has happened with Colorado is going to happen with the party at large because the Voting Rights Act was their greatest fucking mechanism for ensuring Obama and Clinton style race machine mechanics still work. With that out of the equation, it's going to be purely whoever has the most power, and I'm going to tell you right now who has the most power. It's these suicidal, nihilistic, white liberal progressives who are mutilating their genitals in their fucking 50s, these hippie descendant adjacent types, and all of these fucking third worlders that they just let into their house and rape their fucking children and steal their welfare money. That's the future of the Democratic Party.
That's the Democratic Party, and that's the issue. Because now they know if Illinois goes out with gerrymandering, all those black representatives in Chicago, they're screwed. Because now they have to run against these schizophrenic nutcases, and they know they can't win. They can't win these primaries because they know the base is so radicalized, especially with these white suburban voters, which is crazy to think. Why in particular white suburban voters? It's just crazy to think. But
high rates of college education, indoctrination, and virtue signaling and feel good morality.
That makes sense. But yeah, What's going to happen to some of these representatives when those districts are gone and they're forced to go against these people?
All they had to do was cooperate with Trump on repealing health care. That wasn't off. But the thing is that none of this was going to happen because they just hated Trump, and that was too much of Obama's legacy.
Yeah.
Obama shifted the Democrat Party too far left for their time, and they have been in a perpetual game of having to stay to the left of itself. The Democrat Party has had to play this perpetual game of standing to the left of itself for over 10 years now because Obama became a progressive at the end of the fucking day. With gay marriage, with trans rights, with recklessly expanding.
That was back in 2012, by the way. For those that don't remember, that was when even gay marriage was still not popular. And he was pushing that shit. So, anyways, Josh for 2. When exactly did the Democrats become this insane? Again, 2017. They fucked up they could have moderated and they didn't.
They fucked up democracy, so true.
Yeah, they did. Let's see here. Question, what the fuck happened to this guy?
We have Sam Hyde at home, ass face.
So for those that don't know, Owen Schroyer was a patriot a couple years ago. He was on InfoWars. He was a patriot. He was really good. And he got TDS. And for those that don't know, he had I think brown hair, I think it was before.
Yeah. He used to be so good, and then Trump completely fucking mind raped him. Psychic, full-blown psychic casualty.
Yeah, this is what he looks like now. And the memes have been just glorious. Let me pull up the before and after. Before he went insane versus after. There's plenty of memes of it. Right here. This is real. This is what he was before versus after. And people were saying, the structure, changed his face. How does that even happen? So, yeah, this is Owen Schroyer in the year 2026. It's sad because I used to love the guy. He was great on InfoWars. He
turned out.
Yeah.
He turned out over Trump.
Quite literally. I wonder how much estrogen he's taken.
I don't want to know. But is that strange that every time that somebody...
How'd the hair, how does the hair do that? The color.
He bleached it, I
bleach.
guess.
That's bleach.
That's crazy. Why would you
You're telling me he didn't realize that nobody would notice? Yeah, everybody, he totally had blonde hair the entire time. I just can't,
These people are not mentally well.
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at MTG. You guys see the picture of her before and after? Same thing.
Yeah, no. She's lost her shit.
But why? Why is this TDS stuff in particular? It does, unironically, this does shit to people, the TDS stuff. Is there a reason for it? Anybody got any theories?
His career is over.
My guess is the stress just thinking about it constantly. Because there's something about Trump, what he says and does, it just makes people think about it over and over again. And that's all they could think of. And they get
stressed out about Trump and the Jews or something?
Yeah. That's my theory, but freaking Trump and I don't know. Yeah, didn't Trump pardon him too?
Schroyer, yeah.
Can you unpardon somebody?
No, you can't.
Well, I mean, when you get to the
kidding, but...
when you go to the Biden auto pin.
Yeah, the Biden auto pin. Oh my gosh. K-Cup for 5. Luke, I don't eat fast food. Also, Luke has started on stream. He is stopping at places like Chick-fil-A for lunch every now and then. Hashtag Luke lied to us. Yeah, you lied.
Okay, but he's also told us that's the only fast food he eats nowadays.
All right, so. Mike Finn for 2. Remember when Warren complained of Big Sandwich? Oh, I remember that. The crash is coming, and the Korean and Japanese are going to come out on top, while the Western ones will be knocked down. I don't think so. I think it's going to impact everybody. Nintendo's going to probably be fine. Valve, they're going to be fine. But Sony is going to be screwed. Microsoft's already dead. For Xbox, that ship has sailed. So, let's see. But yeah, I think Sony's gonna experience they're gonna experience a disaster. Bigger than what happened in 2006, I think it was, with the PS3. We'll see. Because remember, even back in 2013 with Xbox One, that killed Xbox. That was the start of the downfall, excuse me. So yeah. I think we're gonna have a crash. It's gonna be hilarious, but we need one. You need one for there to be a stable system. Once in a while, you need one, like every 10 years. Xbox and Sony are cooked. He's not wrong. Well, yeah, but what do they got? Sony, they don't make games, and it costs $900, and the new one might be $1,200. Fuck that. Xbox is a meme. They have a good collection, yeah, but at this point, just buy an old 360. Go buy the original Xbox if you want to. You're better off just doing that and get all the classics. All right. Let's just get into the decision itself. They upheld birthright citizenship, but not in a way that made sense. Like, listen, this was never settled law. Don't let people fool you. What was settled law is, yes, if you're a permanent resident of the United States, you are applicable to birthright citizenship. That's true. Not for illegal immigrants. And these dumb shits said, no, it's not just for permanent residents or legal citizens. If you cross the border and if you're on American territory, it does not matter if you're an illegal immigrant. It doesn't matter if you're a permanent resident. It doesn't matter what. If you give birth in America, that kid automatically becomes citizen in the United States. Does anybody see the problem with that? Anybody at all? This is the issue here. Now, you just legitimize this bullshit of people crossing the border, having a kid, and they get benefits from it. You're giving people citizenship that shouldn't be here. It's a disaster. This is worst case scenario. I didn't think Roberts would do this. I thought, okay, he was going to just say Congress can... It's up to Congress, and they know it's never going to pass. But no, they just said, no, Congress can't even do anything about it. That's what makes this absurd. Congress has no authority over birthright citizenship. It's the 14th Amendment. This is the raw text. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Notice how it says, by the way, that they're citizens of the U.S., not they. That's the thing that I'm just confused. Like, how can anyone read this and say, yeah, no, they were totally talking about illegal immigrants, and the Congress has no authority. That's crazy. We need more checks and balances against the Supreme Court. They're supposed to be, but currently there isn't. Really, the only way to get around this is a constitutional amendment, and that's, let's be honest here, that's never passing. So, the political demon for 5. To abbreviate, Kavanaugh states Congress can amend the Immigration Nationality Act to create the exceptions the executive order attempted. Yeah, but here's the issue. The majority said, no, that doesn't matter. Like, Kavanaugh is right. Congress can do that. That's what it's supposed to be. But this goes further beyond that. Like, his dissent is correct. But the current decision says, no, Congress can't do anything about it. There's nothing anybody could do except for a constitutional amendment, and that's not going to pass. Well, when the Supreme Court just says Congress can't solve this, there's no checks and balances. Yeah, that's the issue. Outside of a constitutional amendment, what can Congress do right now? It just, I can't believe they could have went the Kavanaugh route. Just punt it if they wanted to. And that would have appeased everybody. That would have said, okay, goes to Congress. They can clarify like it's supposed to. Not this shit the courts could say, oh, that's actually, Congress can't do anything, no matter what. Never been tried, nothing. Do it, they're invaders. Well, yeah, that's my argument. These people are invaders. They shouldn't be here. So declare them as such. Tyrone, what do you think of illegal immigrants that come here illegally? Do you think
it's not even, I was going to say, it's not even that big of a fucking thing to say that, oh, they're invaders. Most of these people are literally here on behalf of Cuba or China or Mexican cartels or whatever the fuck who actively undermine us.
Yeah, it's just, think about that for a second. These people are literally working with enemies of the United States. What do you call that when they illegally enter a country?
Subversives?
Yeah.
Saboteurs? Spies?
Invaders! Like the 14th Amendment in the precedent shows. These people should not be eligible for birthright citizenship, or their kids shouldn't be. If they cross the border illegally, that's how you get around this. You just say, all these people, they're invaders. So they do not apply to this. They're invading America, they're occupying forces. Just say they're an occupying force, and therefore, they are not eligible for birthright citizenship, or the kids aren't. You gotta try something. I know this is a stretch, try this, but why not? You can make the argument that, yeah, these people are invading. You have nutcases from China, from the Middle East, and they're part of terrorist organizations, they're spies. I'm pretty sure those would constitute invaders. Wouldn't you think? But that's the only way I can see this working. Like, as a blanket thing, okay, everybody's a foreign invader. All these people are foreign invaders. They're not eligible for it. So we're going down this route. We're going the Kavanaugh route. That's smart. Because Kavanaugh, he explicitly said, hey, it's Congress's decision. Which is right. That is the legally correct decision, by the way. Like, he was right. He made the right decision, and I know we make fun of Kavanaugh all the time, but he was right. His opinion was the correct one. Like, hey, no, Congress can clearly decide this. They're the ones that
hello, real Texan.
And real Texan pulled
Yes, I of you realistic Texans.
So yeah, Kavanaugh gave us life. The son of a bitch may save us.
So I've heard.
Mike Johnson, get this shit through. You know Thomas Massey's gonna vote no, but get it through with everybody else. And it's time for the Senate to do something. There's gotta be...
It's bizarre to think that the Trump administration hasn't been planning for literally all possible outcomes here. Y'all motherfuckers keep seriously underestimating Trump.
She has 125 million. Jesus. So, yeah. This right here is why Democrats are shitting the bed right now. The RNC on hand has $125 million. And the DNC has -3 million. Man, that's kind of a big gap, isn't it? A little bit.
This is the kind of gap we would expect to happen to the Republican Party 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Again, it cannot be emphasized hard enough how drastically things have changed in the past 10 years for the better.
And by the way, what this decision does is it allows the RNC and the Republican Party to coordinate their money with campaigns more directly. Yes, there's still some campaign finance laws, but a large part, all you need is the RNC to have infinite money, and they can spend money however they want. When they receive that dollar, it's theirs, and nobody can do a thing about it. And now, this money, hey, Roy Cooper, how you gonna do? How you doing down there in North Carolina? Here's 50 million against you out of nowhere.
Yeah, so there needs to be 30 to 40 million dropped in both North Carolina and Georgia each.
Yeah, I agree.
There needs to be 20 million dropped in New Hampshire. There needs to be. I mean, like, we can ignore Texas and Maine. Susan Collins has got this shit.